see.
Guys, welcome back to another one of my videos, and today we'll be doing what if Naruto had the Rinnegan. Now, without further ado, let's just get into it. Now, the Rinnegan requires an extensive amount of chakra, so I'll be making Naruto's parents both Senju and Uzumaki, just so that Naruto can have enough chakra to use the Rinnegan properly. Now, how he would get the Rinnegan would at the birth of Naruto, Hagoromo himself would actually oversee the birth of Indra and Ashura's reincarnate. However, he would immediately get a flash of his mother, Kaguya, reviving and coming back to life. Now, he knows he can't do anything since he's not powerful enough to defeat her again, and he's dead, of course. And so, he gives Naruto the Rinnegan, in hopes that one day he could fight against Kaguya in order to defeat her and stop her revival. Fast forward to when he was born, he opened his eyes only to have purple Rinnegan. Now, when the lady saw this, she was in utter shock, since the Rinnegan was merely a rumor, something so rare it was considered a myth, a legend. And the fact that Naruto had it now, she was in shock. However, it was also delightful. She told Minato and Kushina about the great news, and right as Minato and Kushina were about to celebrate, Toby showed up and took the Nine Tails from Kushina. Now, right as Toby was about to kill Naruto, he noticed his purple Rinnegan, and he was in shock. He didn't know anyone could actually be born with the Rinnegan without being the Hagoromo, Sage of Six Paths reincarnate, or anything like that. I mean, not even Nagato was born with his Rinnegan. However, he looked at the boy and decided he was going to take the Rinnegan with him, and he was going to take Naruto with him to Madara. However, right as he was about to teleport away, he was suddenly kicked by Minato, who immediately took Naruto away and hid him from the masked man. Like in the original, they would fight and he would die having to seal the Nine Tails. Now, fast forward around 7 years later, he would start the academy, and he would already be a master at almost all ninjutsu. I mean, using ninjutsu was kind of like a game to him. He really had no problem using it. And out of everyone in the class, it wasn't even a competition. Naruto was always the number one spot in terms of taijutsu, ninjutsu, chakra control, genjutsu, shuriken, and basically everything. Now, Naruto would actually learn the clone jutsu with extreme ease, so he would not fail the graduation exams 3 times. Instead, he would pass on the first time, and he would basically be discharged from the academy. And so now that he has nothing to do, Hiruzen would basically tell Naruto to follow him, and he would introduce him to multiple Jonin like Kakashi, Asuma, Kurenai, Anko, etc. And after a while, and around 2 years later, with all of these training with all of the senseis, he became extremely powerful, and he had already mastered all 5 basic chakra natures and was already easily a prodigy. His skill and strength was on par with the Jonin, as he had been able to defeat multiple Jonin and Chunin with relative ease. However, he still struggled with his Rinnegan control. I mean, come on, it is the Rinnegan. It's extremely difficult to control and took Nagato multiple years just to understand it. Naruto could currently only use these set abilities. Currently, he was able to create chakra chains as well as see chakra, however, not as good as the Byakugan. He was also able to read the stone tablet Hagoromo left behind. And he was also capable of creating black chakra receivers that could basically store chakra, and you can control people with them. Currently, he had control over the Diva Path, and the abilities he could use within the Diva Path were the Universal Pull. However, he was still struggling on Jupaku Tensei and Almighty Push. For the Asura Path, he was only able to create weapons and lasers, so he already had small amounts of control over it. The Human Path, he had mind reading, and he really couldn't rip out the soul of his victims. He wasn't good at that yet. He could only summon the Hellhound dog from his Animal Path summoning. With the Preta Path, he was capable of absorbing all ninjutsu, which he was able to do with relative ease. With the Naraka Path, he was able to use the King of Hell, however, only for a short amount of time, and if he did use it, he would be extremely tired after. And with the Outer Path, he was able to bestow 2 people with Rinnegan's 6 Paths abilities. However, he was only able to give 2 people the abilities of the Rinnegan, no one else. And whoever he gave the powers of the Rinnegan to, naturally, they would be under complete control over Naruto. Now, how does it start off? And basically, everything with the Team 7 teams would happen the same way. He would be called over to Kakashi and would be told that he would be the new sensei and that he would be in Team 7 and etc. You know? And so he was basically told to meet up with Sasuke and Sakura, the other 2 students. And he did that, and basically he didn't pull a prank on Kakashi since he slightly knew him from the training they used together. And as soon as Kakashi walked into the room, he saw Naruto, and he was like, Naruto, eh? Well, this could get interesting, Kakashi would say in his mind. And basically, he would call everyone out and ask from them for their ambitions and dreams. Naturally, Sasuke would say the thing about wanting to kill a certain someone. Sakura would look at Sasuke and say, well, I want to fall in love with Sasuke and marry him. And Naruto would answer, I want to be Hokage to protect everyone in the village and become more powerful. Now, here's where something would change. Tomorrow, they would be called to the bell test like in the original. And basically, Kakashi would explain everything to the bell test about them. And he would kind of just tell them, like, 3, 2, 1, go. And everyone would start hiding, except for Naruto, of course. Naruto would immediately start mocking Kakashi, and Kakashi would put his book down, since he knew how powerful the Rinnegan was, and he knew it was far more powerful than his Sharingan. As Kakashi started to blitz Naruto in hopes of taking him down with one shot. However, Naruto easily responded by simply jumping away from his attack. As he then turned his arm into a laser and shooting creating a massive crater where Kakashi stood. Kakashi stood above him proudly and was about to release a fireball great fireball jutsu at Naruto. However, he was immediately met with a water bullet jutsu from Naruto. The two jutsu would cancel each other out and there would be a slight smoke screen. Using this, Naruto would run up to Kakashi. Right as Kakashi was about to attack him, he was looked into the eyes by Naruto, as he suddenly felt the extreme power of the Rinnegan and fell down, paralyzed, incapable of moving. Using this time, he would simply sneak the two bells away from Naruto and give them to Sasuke and Sakura. Well, did I pass now, Sensei? Kakashi wouldn't really be sure what to say since the entire goal of the thing was for teamwork. However, he did promise that if they got his bells that he would let them through, so he told Naruto that, well, yeah, he lets him through and he lets the other two through as well since he did give them the bells, you know? And after doing a bunch of E rank and D rank missions, everyone in Team 7 would get tired and would ask the third Hokage for a more difficult mission. Now, since he knew how powerful Naruto was, especially with the Rinnegan, he would decide that, okay, well, I guess I can give you guys a C rank mission. And everyone would just be happy that it wasn't another D rank mission. And this is where it cuts off. So, yeah. Anyways, see you guys. Bye-bye.